Flora Proactive. No other food lowers cholesterol more. Every day, millions of Durban residents wake up to the antics and humor of Darren Maule, host of East Coast Radio's Breakfast Stack Show. With his big personality, Darren was surprised to find out he had a big health problem during a Flora event he was part of.
I did a little bit of an activation with Flora, and they took my cholesterol and they saw, oh, your cholesterol's a bit high. And then I also noticed that when I climb up 2 flights of stairs to get home to my front door, I got to take a moment to breathe, and I'm thinking, this is a bit excessive, this is a bit not lekker. And then when I heard about the Flora Strong Heart Programme, which promised to turn all of this around, I jumped at it. It's a lifestyle program that you can apply to your life kind of effortlessly and just correct where you're going wrong. I was hoping that by the end of the Flora Strong Heart Programme that I would be able to run the comrades and do mid-mile and qualify to be an astronaut. I might have been overshooting. So I kind of whittled down my hopes and my dreams and eventually got to a stage where I said to myself, I would like to be able to walk down the 100 steps from my house to the beach and spend a good couple of hours there playing and frolicking with my daughter and not spending the time down there recovering from the 100 steps down. And then I would also like to be able to walk the 100 steps back up to my house again and not have to take a week sabbatical to recover.
Having a work day that begins before 6 a.m. and ends late in the evening is challenging enough. But Darren soon discovered that getting healthy also came with its own set of obstacles.
It's all hard in the beginning, but I think the hardest part is coming back. Once you overcome that, everything else just happens. The 2 biggest hurdles I had to overcome was getting my cardio up to good 10 minutes of cardio and sweating. So once I got there, everything else became a lot easier. Your cardio and your recovery rate is not going to up until you stop smoking. It's the climbing off a treadmill and coughing up a big brown luger that kind of inspires you to go, perhaps my training would go a little bit better if I stopped smoking. So, stop smoking, that really helped. And then once I was in the rhythm, able to do 10 to 20 minutes worth of cardio, over and above that, I think the rowing was the hardest bit. During the 16th century, as a punishment, you would run the rope around a person's ankles, around his arms, and then you would run that rope to 2 separate horses. Those horses would run in opposite directions. The same guy who invented that torture device invented the rowing machine. Same guy. Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, Darren, it makes perfect sense. Lynette Savides is the biokineticist from the Prime Institute, tasked with getting this motor mouth to exercise and eat right.
With the Flora Heart Programme, we pride ourselves on the fact that although it is group exercise and a group program, every single person has got an individualized program. So it's very important that we assess the people and then we base our program for that particular person on our assessment. So with Darren, the things that we needed to work on was obviously trying to lower his cholesterol. His weight was increased. He was a smoker, which was one of the big things that we needed to try and tackle. His waist to hip ratio was elevated. His body fat percentage was elevated. From a diet point of view, because of his elevated cholesterol, we recommended a diet which was low in saturated fats, high in fiber, and then because he eats out a lot, it was more educating him in terms of what kind of food choices to make, as opposed to a strict diet that he needs to stick to.
Armed with practical knowledge from an expert, an exciting workout program, and the support of all his listeners, what's Darren's goal for the future and his health?
The gym can only do so much, your biokineticist can only do so much, the exercise can only do so much, but you have to make the decision and stick by it. And I suppose that's what I've learned for my next program. My next program will be to do everything I've done in the first program, but to incentivize myself.
Flora Proactive. No other food lowers cholesterol more.